welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be my go-to makeup tutorial using the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palette. So many of you guys have asked me to use this on my channel, and I didn't get around to using it whenever it first launched, but it is relaunching this Tuesday, the 18th of July at 8 a.m. So hang tight for that. So I figure, oh my gosh, we're finally gonna get around to filming with it on the second round of the launch. I asked you guys on Twitter what kind of look you guys wanted to see, and my go-to makeup look or a colorful look, and you guys mostly commented both. So in this video, I am going to do my everyday makeup look, give you a visual of that, and then I'm going to add some color onto it to show you guys how you can incorporate color and use your colors in this palette, because I know a lot of you guys already have this palette. So I hope you guys are excited for the tutorial. You already know what we're about to do here. If you haven't already, be sure and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, and we'll go ahead and jump right into the video. I brought you really up close and personal to my face. We're gonna go ahead and start by priming the skin. I'm gonna be using the NYX Shine Killer. This is a great primer if you get a little bit oily out throughout the day. Now, it isn't like a lifesaver. It's not going to completely stop your skin from getting greasy, but I think it does add a little bit of a helpful touch to eliminate some of the dewiness and mattifies the skin. Also, oh my gosh, hello breakouts. These two bumps have been here for almost 2 weeks and they won't go away, so I guess they're just like part of my face now. I also pick at them, so maybe that has something to do with it. So now I'm gonna prep my skin, and I like just hit it with 1 or 2 sprays of the Morphe Prep-In Set. And now we're ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna go ahead with my foundation. You guys know I use this. Oh, she's dirty, but I use this all the time. This is in shade Beige. This is the Vanish foundation from Hourglass. I like to use a good bit of it. You don't have to use as much of it that I use. I'm just trying to be a full coverage girl today. Now I'm going to take my favorite brush of all time. This is the Y6 brush from Morphe. It's so incredibly soft. It's a flat top kabuki, and this is what I use every day to blend out my foundation. It was so funny. I did a live sesh the other day, and I was like, okay guys, what brush am I going to blend out my foundation with? And literally the whole comment section was like, Y6, 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 Y6. It was so cool. I'm like, oh my god, you guys know me so well. But I'm going to blend out this foundation. This foundation is really easy to blend out, whether it is a, you know, whatever you want to use to blend it out. Again, I prefer the brush mostly, but it blends out so easily. Next up for concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in shade Custard. This is one of my tried and true concealers that I use all the time. So lately I haven't been using quite as much product. I've really been just applying it under the eye and blending it out in the triangular shape and dragging it down. I'm like, not as much product. You guys are like, dear God, what was a lot of product? You can also take your Y6 and blend this out. These brushes are great for cream products, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1 with this brush. Typically I'll just go in and blend out my concealer with it as well. And whenever I'm blending out my concealer, I like to go back and forth like that to get in all the creases of the eye. And then I normally do my nose with my finger. Now I normally will go ahead and set that concealer pretty quickly. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. I've really been enjoying this. I did like a first impressions on their stuff, which I can link down below if you want to know more about it. But the setting powder is very nice. It does remind me a little bit of the Cover FX one. I really like to get that under eye. If you have dry skin, you don't have to add this much powder. If you have dry skin, I do still recommend you setting your makeup, but you don't gotta use this much because it might dry your skin out a little bit more. So while that's setting there, what I've been doing lately is like letting that set there and go ahead and doing my bronzer, because I like to bronze throughout here. This is my favorite bronzer brush, is the M105 brush. It's just like the perfect shape. And today I'm going to be using the Tastic bronzer from Marc Jacobs, and it's humongous. So I'm going to swirl some around and then tap that excess off. I go back and forth. I don't know why I'm such a lunatic with my powders. I'm gonna carve out the cheekbone a little bit, and I'll even pull these little baby hairs on back. And then I'll start to blend the bulk of it in the cheekbone right there, and then I'll take what's left and just start to drag it up. And I'll start and bring it around my temples And then I'll do a little bit right here. I do have eyeshadow in my hairline, just to let you guys know, because I'm trying to cover up my gray hairs in between dyes. Girl, my struggle is real. I get so many questions about my gray hairs, and let me just let you know, I started graying when I was 16 and it never turned back. My hair just gets grayer and grayer every single day. I normally, in between dyes, I'll just do the black eyeshadow a little bit. You can still see them peeking through a touch. The E54 brush I've recently fallen in love with to sweep away my powder, whether it's like the under cheek area or right in here, because I find that the bristles are so dense and thick in there, it grabs the powder and knocks it off so nicely. Now for blush. Okay, I got these new blushes in from Makeup Forever, but they're like sold individually. Aren't they pretty? So I think I'm gonna use, this mauvier color. It kind of doesn't look that mauve on camera. This one is B208 right here. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna use my Y1 Y1 brush to apply it right onto my cheekies. Ooh, these are pigmented. Girl, you better settle down. I just added so much blush to that cheek. You can add just as much to the other cheek. So I'm just gonna turn the brush over because I have blush on one side, turn it over to the clean side and kind of buff some of that blush out. For highlight, I'm gonna be using one of my favorite summer highlights. This is Summer Snow Cone by Jeffree Star. And it looks really yellowy in the packaging, but it comes off like a really soft, frosted golden color on the skin. And I've really been enjoying this guy. This is my favorite highlight brush. This is the R36. There is a hair in my mouth. This is the R36, and I find that it has kind of raspy bristles, which will grab the product nicely. And as you can see, oh my queen. And I'll even touch there and my upper lip. You can always go back and add some more to the upper lip if you feel. I like to add it to my nose, but normally with my finger. Okay, now what I'll do, you guys already know, I like to hit my face with a little bit of setting spray to set all these powders in and then pat them down, and then we'll work on the eyes. And then I'll just take a sponge and just press it down. You can use a beauty blender or whatever to do this, but the sponge is just really faster. My skin is done. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the eyes. First, I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows and I'll be right back. Plus, my camera is dying, so we need a new battery. Here is my palette. Now mine is a little bit dirty. I use her a lot, okay? So just pretend that she's not. Also, I went ahead and did my brows, and then I also put a little bit of my MAC paint pot on my eyelid. First, what I've been doing, just going in with these two top shades right here, and I'll just use my M573. It's a fluffy blender brush. Get some on like that, and then I'll go ahead and buff that right into the crease as my transition shade. Go ahead and put down whatever primer you like best. I always stick with the MAC paint pots. I love them a lot. So what I like to do whenever I'm blending an eyeshadow is I'll go ahead and press the color into the actual crease. And then once most of the color is pressed to the crease, I'll take whatever's left on my brush and start to buff upward. And that way you're not getting too much color like all the way out here. You see how that's deeper? That way up here isn't quite as deep. Now I'll switch to a little bit of a smaller blending brush. I'm putting it up here on my forehead because you can't see that good right there. Do you see how it's smaller and it's a little more tapered at the end? This is the R39 from the Rose Gold collection. Now I like to take it a little deeper, and I'll just mix these two shades together like that on one side of the brush, and then I'll flip the brush over and I'll do the same thing, really buff those colors right into the crease. Now, as most of you guys know, I always tell you, the deeper the color I go, because I kind of build up browns, typically in any look, go ahead and buff out a few browns. The deeper the color I go, the lower I keep the color, so I won't start bringing these darker browns up as high. Next, I'm going to go into our warm tone friend right here, and I'm just going to get a little on the R39, same brush, and just pop it right on in there. Outer corner, focusing most of the color, and then I'll go ahead and sweep just whatever's left on the brush, really on the inner corner right there, but most of the color is going to go in that outer corner. For the fun part, I'm actually going to go ahead and go into this gold color right here. Oh my gosh, think this is my favorite color in the whole entire palette. If you know me, like, I am a gold go-to girl. Gold, gold, gold. I love the color gold. I actually typically wear more gold jewelry than silver. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm just letting you know that. One of my favorite brushes to pack on color is the M421. It is a flat synthetic brush, but it's a little bit shorter, so it's great for shading and really getting precise. I'm gonna build on some color on the brush, and then I'm gonna hit it a few times with a little bit of a mist. And I have to wet all my shimmers. It's just like an addiction that I have. You don't have to wet these eyeshadows. They are so creamy. But you don't have to have a fancy setting spray either to wet them. You can wet your brush with a little bit of water and then grab the shimmery product, and it works the same. I like to use Max Fix Plus or the Morphe Prep and Set. What I like to do is, because this brush has like this flat rounded tip, I like to set it right there where my natural crease is. And because the color's wet, I can go ahead and kind of carve out. Oops, I hit my mic. I can go ahead and carve out the crease. And now we're gonna do the same thing to the other eyeball. It's okay if your browns get down on your lid, because your shimmer from this palette is so pigmented. You can just layer it right on top. Going back into the palette, I'm gonna take this deep brown color right here, the same R39 brush, and I'm just gonna get some on the tip and really just lightly, very light-handedly, because this color is very deep and pigmented and I don't want to have an explosion on my eye. So I'm just gonna lightly buff some in the outer corner and the outer crease. And I just have it like on the tip of the brush, not all over the brush. Now, this is my eyelid. This is what I do. Lately, I haven't really been applying anything to my brow bone. I've just kind of been letting it naturally be lighter from the eyeshadow primer. So what I like to do now is to tightline, as well as add a little bit of black liner on the upper waterline in case I'm going to add lashes, which of course you know I'm going to. I'm going to take this Jouer Slim Eyeliner in black, and I'm going to go ahead and tightline. I'm going to add a little bit. Now it's time for lashes, and then I'll add a little bit of mascara for lashes. I'm gonna be using some that I've worn before. These are Miami by Lily Lashes. Next up, I'm gonna take my M210 brush. I'm gonna take this shade and this shade. I am going to buff them on the lower lash line, and I always like to connect the lower lash line with the outer corner. I'm going to take this E43 brush, which is just a little bit of a tighter brush for the waterline. Grab that darkest shade. I'm going to buff it really close to the lower lashes. I'm going to take that Jouer Skinny Liner in shade black and just add it to the lower waterline now. And then I'll pop on some mascara to my lower lashes. I'm going to add the Dior Pump and Volume Mascara to my upper and lower lashes, kind of connecting the real lashes to the false lashes now that the glue's dried down a little bit. And then also, of course, to the lower lashes. For lips, I'm going to take this curvy lip liner by ColourPop and line my lips. I'm going to take Birkin Suede Lip Ammo from Jeffree Star, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the center of my lips and then rub them together. And lastly, we can set everything with a little bit of the Morphe Prep and Set. Voila! We are finished. This is my go-to look, the look that I love, the look that I always wear, the look that I can't get enough of. So have a little gander. All right, guys, I hope you liked this look. Now we're gonna add a little bit of this purple color in the crease. We're gonna keep it going. Keep it going. I'm gonna use the M210 brush. Grab some of the purple on the tip of the brush. I'm gonna buff the purple right in the crease. I'm actually going to take that purple on this 210 brush and just push it right into the lashes, the outer corner, and then take the tip of that brush and work it in that crease up there. I'm actually gonna grab some of the blue too. I'm gonna go in and add it right on in there because I really want to get some color going. Mix the purple and blue together and just on that outer corner, buff it in and then make it connect. I think just like that easy, you can incorporate color with your palette. It's obviously easier to do this look whenever you don't already have your lashes on. Comment down below if you like the colorful look better or just the golden eye better. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.